Hey, what's going on? Eric Cortina here, Texas Barndominiums. So today we're starting a new Barndominium. This one's going to be number 180. We have a few challenges, or I wouldn't call them challenges, but some things that we have to deal with. There's a lot of trees, as you can tell behind me. So they used to have a mobile home in place. They got rid of that. So we have to fit the house between all these trees. They also have an existing septic tank from the old house that we need to make sure that we put the house in the right place. And there's also a floodplain that we need to keep away from. So the customer gave us the print or the plot for the floodplain, and we're gonna lay it out. Then we have to submit, or the customer is going to submit the coordinates to the county, and for them to get the approval. I came over here about 2 weeks ago. Customer and I roughly laid it out, and then he had to remove some trees because the house is fairly big, so we had to get those trees out of the way. So you might be wondering why we're having to deal with all this in this location. Well, the answer is the view. This is going to be their view from their back porch. As you can tell, it's going to be a magnificent view. Because of that, the backyard or the back porch is going to have glass overhead doors like Barndominium 62, and we have a video on that, and here's the link if you want to check it out. But my goodness, this is an amazing view. They're going to be able to step off their back porch, walk about 50 yards, and get to fishing. So anyway, we're going to lay this thing out. Once we get it approved, we'll get going. We did soil samples yesterday, so things are rolling. Alright, so we're laying out the foundation. The form's right there. That's where the back porch is going to be. This is a slab from the old house. So what we're going to do, customer wants to keep it so they can use it as a parking pad. And it's gonna work out. See the string line right here? This is where the forms are gonna be. So we're going to saw cut this foundation or the slab. We're gonna break that one up. We're gonna put some dowels in there, and then when we pour the other foundation, these are gonna tie in together. So it's gonna work out pretty good. This electrical service is from the old house. There's a conduit, obviously, that runs underground, and we're going to try to save this. I'm gonna have to talk to my electrician. We may not be able to save it, but because there's another one over there. We're probably gonna use that, if anything, but we'll try to use as much as we can. You know, maybe not the wires, but the conduit. Over there where he just dropped the form, that's where the septic is, and we're staying about 10 feet away from that. You can see the old septic sewer line right there. So anyway, it's gonna fit in here pretty good. We are about 10 feet away from these trees right here, and we are 15 feet away from this big tree, so it fit in here pretty good. He also has a shop back there that we're gonna stay away from, and it's gonna have enough room to where he's gonna be able to go between the house and the shop to be able to drive back there. So it's gonna lay out pretty good in here. All right, so we got it all laid out. See the string line right here? This is gonna be the height of the slab on this back corner, which is 24 inches. They have a porch that comes, it's only about a 6-foot porch, comes out, but right by where the tree is, it goes back in. So this is not really the corner of the house. The corner of the house is gonna be about 5 feet in. The reason we do this, we square up a big we go with what we call the envelope of the slab. So we go on the perimeter, we square that up, and then once you get all that squared up, you can always move in. For example, if you got that 5-foot porch, these guys, it only goes halfway. So what they'll do is they'll move in 5 feet from this corner, 5 feet from the other corner, and pull another string line, and then they'll continue their forms right there. So anyway, that's how we do it. You can see they're shooting level back there. They're shooting the elevations, but it's going to be about 24 inches in this back corner. It's going to be about 10 inches in the front, and this back porch is going to be about a foot off the ground. So then they'll just slope it off, put some fill dirt, get the yard going, all that. So it'll be real nice. It's gonna have an outdoor kitchen, it's gonna have a hot tub, and it's gonna have glass overhead doors. So I can't wait to show you this one. It's the progress and everything we're gonna do about it. So it's gonna be a little different than the other ones we've been doing. And again, that's one beauty about a Barndominium. They're all different, and they don't have to be, but in our case they are. So I love it. So now what I'm doing is I'm going down the road where we're gonna have to bring in all the heavy equipment and make sure that we have enough clearance for the concrete trucks and the pumps, and try to figure out where we're gonna wash out and turn the trucks around and all that. So that's something that I do on every job. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I figure I'd bring you guys with me. So as you can see, we're gonna have to come in through here. It's narrow, but it's tall enough. We're gonna have to go over here, and this is where we're gonna bring the trucks in, and you can see the lake back there. So the house is gonna go in there. So this is all pretty tight. I'm gonna talk to the customer. Maybe we can move this trailer out of the way, and we can stage the concrete trucks in here. If not, we can do it over here, and this is probably gonna be a better area. It opens up over here under these power lines, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a better place for that. Yeah, we got plenty of room out here. So you can see here we got plenty of room. They have a power line easement right here, but we can stage all the concrete trucks out here. The pump, we're gonna have to bring it in head on, and we're gonna have to bring one concrete truck at a time. On a concrete pump, you can usually back up 2 concrete trucks to it, but here we're gonna be able to do one only. So I need to account for that. Usually I order concrete to show up what we call back to back, meaning no space in between the trucks. On this job, I'm probably gonna put about a 10-minute spacing on the trucks, because I don't want them sitting here too long waiting on us dumping that one truck. So those are kind of things that we have to keep in mind. I'm probably gonna order a higher slump for the same reason, but those are all things that I'm gonna make notes, and then when we pour the foundation, I'll make sure that I look at my notes and keep that in mind when we order the concrete. Another thing that I need to keep in mind is this is pretty solid ground out here. So for example, if we were at a location that gets really bad after rain, then I would have to keep that in mind. So this one's gonna be fine, but any other location, rain would take this option off the table for me, at which point we'd be in trouble, even if it's not raining. But if I can't use the staging area, that would create a problem. So those are all the things that you need to keep in mind when you're starting construction. What are the challenges that you're going to face, and if you don't account for all these things now, they will become a big problem. So anyway, that's it for this week. We looked at the floodplain plot that we have, and it all looks good. Like I said, customer still has to submit the coordinates, but we don't think it's going to be a problem. I mean, we're about 20 feet away from it, so even if we're off slightly, we should be fine. But there's a few trees. He has a lot of trees here, but there's some really big ones that we use as landmarks and to measure from, and we're fine. But anyway, we'll get this one laid out and move on to the next one. See you next week. We are Texas Barndominiums.